Hi, my dear friends. Happy to see all of you again. And Namo Buddhaya. And I hope you are doing good. And I am Venerable Dhammanda Thero. I am from Sri Lanka. I am Sri Lankan Buddhist monk. I am studying at MCU University, Bangkok, Thailand. It is a very famous university in the world, Buddhist university, and the best university in the world, and there are best teachers in university. So I'm so happy to study this university. I'm studying Buddhism, my bachelor degree, English medium. So my subject is Buddhism and science. My teacher is Dr. Yin Onjira once upon a teacher. So we are learning Buddhism and science in the university. So it is really interesting, and I'm really happy to study about the Buddhism and science because Buddhism and science is going together, right? Today we all live in the modern scientific world. The modern scientific, they have discovered everything, right? They have discovered everything. So we all are living the today's modern world, modern scientific world, and but we have to understand. So whatever scientific have discovered, so before scientific developed, our great master Lord Buddha have discovered everything, and Buddha have explained and taught us everything. And before science they discovered, before scientific discovered, Buddha have explained everything in the sutras. So this is a so interesting thing. So when we study about the Buddhism and science, we can see this difference. We can see what are the difference and what are the similarities in the Buddhism and science. It is very important thing. That is why today I think the everybody in the world, if you can, if you are really interesting to learn Buddhism and science, I think you are welcome to MC University, Mahachula Lankara Vidyalaya Raja Vidyalaya University. It's the best university. There are best teachers you can find, and they are really kind and really kind heart teachers, and they really teaching, and they are best. And so that's why if we can learn from best teachers, so we can be the best student so in university. So I believe, and every student, they need a best teacher and best teachers to study well, study hard. So it is really important. So whatever I study from university, I always like to share with everyone, because I have a lot of friends from the United States and United Kingdom, and also Malaysia, Singapore, and India, and there are many countries, and they really have good relationship with me, and also Russia. And I'm very thankful to all of you, and keep in touch with me, and for you all supported for my study in university, and really appreciate it and so much, and your kindness, your support. So as I am Buddhist monk, I would like to share my knowledge, whatever I learned from my teachers. So my teacher is Yin Onjira Onsapai, from Thailand teacher. So she's the best teacher, so and so kind, and I always learn from teachers, what teachers teach us, and so I would like to share with you. So that's why I make this channel. This YouTube channel is like a study channel, so everyone can study. You are open, you are welcome to my channel. So if you are really interested to learn something new about the science and Buddhism, I think this is very best channel for you to learn, and you whatever it is open, and so you can just learn. So it is really important for you, and I'm sharing this knowledge whatever I learned from the university, from my teachers, and it is really helpful for you to understand. And maybe you are like a student, so it is help you to study about this subject. So okay, let me explain to you. So today's my topic is Buddhism rational religion? So what do you think? Buddhism is a rational religion or not? What do you think? If you think is your answer is yes, or maybe if your answer is no, so what do you think? Buddhism is a rational religion or not? If your answer is yes, you are correct. Buddhism is a rational religion. If your answer is no, then you are wrong. Okay, now you know Buddhism is a rational religion. Why we call Buddhism is a rational religion? This is a very important thing to understand, right? I think everybody have this question. Maybe nobody know about this. Buddhism is a rational religion or not? So today you can listen. I'm sharing my knowledge. I have learned from my teacher. Also, I read some books, and I have found this some information from the Tripitaka and the Buddha's teachings. So I'm going to share with you. The Buddhism is a rational religion. So why we call Buddhism is a rational religion? So these information, so it's like evidence and proof the Buddhism is a rational religion. So Buddhism often considerates like a rational religion. So we know about now the Buddhism is a rational religion. So why we call Buddhism is a rational religion? The first thing I would like to share with you, the Buddha said everything happening for the reason. You know, Buddha always teaching us in Buddhist teaching said everything happening for the reason. This world, everything happening for the reason. Without reason, there is nothing happen. So according to the Buddhist teaching, everything happening for the reason. Without any reason, nothing is happen. Okay? There should be a reason for everything. There should be a reason for everything. I think we can understand this, right? And because everything happen this world, there must be the reason, right? And think you believe and I believe that because everything happen in this world because of reason, there must be the reason. If something happen, there must be the reason. Without reason, nothing happen in this world. Without reason, nothing happen. So that's Buddha's point. This is the logic. This is the logic. That's why Buddha teach us. That's why Buddha teach us cause and effect. This world, everything happening for the reason. So in Buddhism, Buddha teach us cause and effect, right? Cause and effect. Buddha never said anything if there is no reason. Without no reason, Buddha never said anything. If Buddha said something, of course there must be the reason. Of course there must be the reason. Without reason, Buddha never said anything. So if Buddha's teaching, if Buddha explains something, if Buddha said something in Buddha's teaching, so there must be the reason. We have to understand. There must be the reason. So this is a logic in Buddhism. This is the accept the rational. That's why we call this Buddhism is a rational religion. So this is a logic, because Buddhism is always the logic. There is something reason. So another thing, one of the key rational aspect of Buddhism, another thing is dependent origination. I think you know about this. Every Buddhist, they know what is the dependent origination. So it is interesting thing. This is the another key doctrine in the Buddhism. Buddha said that all condition arising in dependence upon other condition. Every condition this world, every condition arising, the all condition arising in dependence upon other condition is something like this. If this exit, then that exit. This cannot exit without. So if this exit, that exit. So because of this is happening. So because of this arise, something like this. So that's why everything is conditioned. All condition arising in dependence other condition. So you have to understand this is a dependent origination in the Buddhism. It's a logic. It's a Buddha's teaching. Is the point of key point, the doctrine, the dependent origination. So without Buddha said, without condition, nothing can arise. Without condition, nothing can arise. So without condition, cannot exit other thing. So if this exit, then that exit is a dependent origination. So if these cases to exit, that also cases to exit. So Buddha simply does not say anything if there is no reason. Buddha simply don't say anything if there is no reason and logic. So there must be always logic and reason in the Buddhism. But that's why we call Buddhism is a rational religion. Okay, now we have to understand what is the dependent origination. What the Buddha explained. Buddha said, because of ignorance, there arise fabrication. There arise fabrication. Because of ignorance, there arise fabrication called sankhara. Avidya paccaya sankhara. In Pali word we call avidya paccaya sankhara. So because of the ignorance, there arise fabrications. Because of fabrications, because of sankhara, fabrication called sankhara, because of fabrication, there arise consciousness. Consciousness means the vijnana. Sankhara paccaya vijnana. So because of the fabrication, there arise consciousness. Because of the consciousness, there arise nama and rupa. Because of the consciousness, there arise nama and rupa. You can see this. This is how the Buddhism is rational. It's like a logic, right? And because of this happen. Because of this arise. So this is a Buddha's in Buddhism is a logic. It's the Buddhism we call is a rational religion. Because of the consciousness, there arise nama and rupa. Because of nama and rupa, there arise six sense. Because of the nama and rupa, there arise six sense. You know the six sense, right? The six sense in Buddhism, six sense. We call the eye, nose, tongue, and also ear, body, the mind. So these are the six senses. And in the Buddhism, because of the nama and rupa, they arise six sense. Because of the six sense, they arise contact. Because of the six sense, they arise contact. Because of the contact, they arise feeling. Because of feeling, they arise craving. So then, because of the craving, they arise attachment. Because of craving, they arise attachment. You can just listen. So we are just sharing knowledge only, and so I'm just make some notes to share with you, because I'm not the master brain. So we can learn from each other, right? And so because of the craving, there arise attachment. Because of the attachment, there arise becoming. Becoming called is a bhava. Because of the birth, there arise janine, death, dukkha. So this is a dependent origination in Buddhism. It is a logic. This is a Buddha's logic. That's why we call Buddhism is a rational religion according to this dependent origination, and also cause and effect. And it is everything is a logic. So without logic, without reason, without logic, so Buddha never said anything. There must be the reason. That's why, because of this is happening. Because of the craving, there arise attachment. Otherwise, there is no attachment, right? Because of the craving, there arise attachment. Because of attachment, there arise bhava, we call becoming. Because of becoming, there arise birth. Or because of becoming bhava, there arise birth. So Buddha say like that. This is a logic, right? So you can understand. Because of birth, now you have to understand. Because of birth, there arise aging, death, and dukkha. Because of birth. If we don't born this world, you and me, if we are not born in this world, so there cannot arise aging, death, dukkha. We are not aging. We are not suffering from aging, and we are not suffering from death and worry, unhappiness. This why we all are today, right? We all are suffering from aging. We all are suffering from sickness. We all are suffering from death. And we all are suffering from anxiety, worry, unhappiness. Because why? Why we are suffering? So this is a logic. Why we are suffering? Buddha say because of birth. Because of birth, you are suffering. If you are not born this world, you are not suffering. Because of birth, you are suffering. So why you are born this world? Why you are born this world? And you have to understand, this is a logic. Because of becoming, bhava. Because of bhava, we call it a becoming. So you are born this world. So why is a bhava? Why is a bhava? So because of attachment. Because of your attachment, you are becoming. You are becoming. Like you are rebirth again. Rebirth again because of attachment. If you don't have attachment, you are no reborn again. So you have to understand, this is the logic. So why attachment? Because of craving. Because of your craving, there arise attachment. So you have to understand this. This is a logic. So because of your craving, there arise attachment. So without craving, there cannot arise attachment. So because of your craving, attachment arises, right? And because of your attachment, there arise becoming. We call power and rebirth. Because of becoming, there arise birth. Because of birth, there arise agent. So now you know the why this happening, right? So because of feeling, there arise craving. Why craving happening? Because of feeling. Because of feeling. That sometimes feeling when we have something, when we watch something. I think when we watch movie, it's like a very nice, right? When we enjoy some music, we can feel some pleasure feeling. So because of our feeling, there arise craving. So the feeling come from when we our eyes contact with the nice pictures, and also when we see the something beautiful, and when we hear something beautiful, nice, when we smell something, wow, so nice smell, and when we also hear something, the beautiful songs, and it is all feeling, right? And emotional feeling. And when we touch something comfortable, it's all feeling. So because why? Because of feeling, there is a rise craving, right? There is a rise craving. So why feeling arise? Because of contact. Our eye contact with pictures. Our eye contact with the picture and eye contact together. So then it's a contact, right? There is a rise feeling. When the ear and sound contact together, then there is a feeling. We start feeling. Also nose and smell, and body and touch, the mind and thought. So this is a logic you have to understand. And the contact, why contact is because of the sixth sense. Eye, nose, ear, tongue, the body, is mind. So these are the senses. So when we talk about this is we have to understand is in Buddhism, why we call it a rational religion. These are the information I can share with you. That's why we call Buddhism is a rational religion. It's a logic, and everything happening for the reason. Without reason, there is nothing happening. So another key rational aspect of the Buddhism, it is Four Noble Truth. You have to understand Four Noble Truth. The human condition, by acknowledging suffering, the dukkha. Buddha said life is suffering, right? Because we all are suffering from birth, aging, sickness, death, separate from our loved ones. Also associate with some toxic people. Sometimes when we associate with toxic people, life is suffering. And also what we wish, but our wish everything not become true, right? So it is also suffering. And anxiety, worry, sorrow, it is called all dukkha, is suffering. It's all dukkha. So why we are suffering? This is a question. Why we are suffering is a logic. And Buddha said we are suffering because of the reason. See, everything in the Buddha's teaching, Buddha said everything because of the reason. This happened because of this reason. It's a logic, and that's why it's a rational religion we call. Why we are suffering? Buddha said we are suffering because of the reason. For reason, suffering, identifying it causes. So it is called cause of suffering. Cause of suffering. The Buddhism say we are suffering because of there is a reason, cause of suffering. The cause of suffering is, what is the cause of suffering? So now we call it a suffering, right? So Buddha say, why suffering? There's a reason. That's why it's called is a cause of suffering in the Four Noble Truth. The cause of suffering, Buddha say, the cause of suffering is desires. You are suffering because of desire. That's the cause of suffering, desires. We call it a tanha, craving. The craving of our mind. According to the Buddha, the cause of human suffering is, the cause of the human suffering is a mind that's not free from desire. Why human beings are suffering? Why human beings are suffering is a minds that's not free from desires. The mind is not free from desires. That's why we all are suffering in this world and born again, birth and again and die. Death and birth happening continue. It's like a cycle of birth. One who free from desires, Buddha say, one who free from desires, there is no suffering at all. There is no suffering. One who free from desires, craving, tanha, there is no suffering at all. See, the Buddha and all enlightened beings, they already have destroyed the desires, right? They destroy the desire. They all are free from the desire. So the all enlightened Arahant and Buddha, there is no reason to suffering, because why? They don't have any desire. They don't have any craving. They already have free from their desires and already have totally cut and totally destroyed all the craving. That's why became enlightenment. So there is no suffering at all. So the cause of suffering is because of the desire, our craving of mind, our desire of the mind. So Buddha say that's the cause of suffering. So this you have to understand. This is the point of the logic in Buddhism, why we call it a rational religion. So it is end of suffering. Buddha explaining about end of suffering. It is end of suffering, free from all desires. If you want to end of suffering, now you know what is the reason for suffering. Cause of suffering is it's because of the tanha, desires. We call kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. So if you want to free from the suffering, then Buddha said it is the end of suffering, free from all desires. You need to free from all desire. You have to let go all desires. So that's the way to end of suffering. So Buddha explained about the path to end of suffering, suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, and the paths to end of suffering. We call this Four Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. So Noble Eightfold Path also is logic in Buddhism. It is another the practical guide for living a balanced and ethical life. It is also considered as Buddhism is a logic religion, right? So what are the Eightfold Paths? Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effect, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So that's why we call this Buddhism is a logic. And another things, another key rational aspect of Buddhism is rejection of the permanent. Buddhism is a rejection of a permanent and unchanging self anatta. So according to Buddhist view, there is nothing permanent, right? We know, according to the Buddha's teaching, Buddhist point of view, there is nothing permanent in this world. So that's why Buddhism is a rejection of permanent and unchanging self. Because the Buddhism believe and Buddhism Buddha's teaching is there is nothing permanent in this world, nothing permanent things in this world, everything subject to change. Buddha say everything subject to change, nothing is permanent in this world. So Buddhism is a rejection of permanent and unchanging. So everything is permanent, subject to change. So Buddhism don't accept anything is permanent. So in Buddha's teaching, so there is no reason to anything is permanent in this world, because why everything is impermanent according to Buddha's teaching? This is a logic in Buddhism. That's why we call it a rational religion. Even our life also not permanent. Even our life also not permanent. It is also impermanent. Buddha said our life is impermanent and death can happen to us anytime, right? This is a truth we have to understand. We all live in impermanent world. This every condition in this world is impermanent. Even our body also impermanent. So life is impermanent and death can happen to us anytime. So this is the thing we have to understand. Our body is changing every day. So our body is changing every day. Impermanent is why we call is anicca, right? Anicca is changing. If something is changing, that's not the permanent, right? That's not permanent. If our body is changing, so how can we call it's a permanent? Now you have the mobile phone, maybe iPhone you are using, and so your iPhone also getting old, right? Then how is permanent? One day after 3 years or 4 years, you have to get the new iPhone. Because why? Your iPhone getting old, it is out of fashion, because there are many iPhones coming. iPhone 14, iPhone 15, 16. So that's why everything is impermanent in this world, right? There's nothing permanent. So my dear friends, this is the point of view and the logic of the Buddhism. So everything is changing is called the anicca. If everything is changing this world, we cannot say it permanent. There is nothing permanent. So Buddhism accepts the changing and impermanent. Buddha said our body is impermanent and it is changing. We call it anicca. If something is permanent, if our body is permanent, changing, so it is impermanent, right? So anicca, then is suffering, right? When our body is changing, if it is anicca, so it is suffering, dukkha, right? We cannot, because why? It is changing. We don't like it is changing, but this is the thing in this world. Everything is changing. We cannot control. Everything is changing. Our body also changing. Everything changing. We can't control. So it is happy or unhappy. So we feel unhappy, right? Because why? It is changing. So we don't like, and we feel is sad because we can't control, right? We can't control anything. We can't control anyone. It's changing. People are changing. The material things are changing. Everything changing this world. So we have to accept it. No choice. So changing. If it is changing, is suffering. We call dukkha. When our body is getting impermanent, it is we call it suffering. If we suffering of our body impermanent, then we cannot say this is my body. Because why? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. So if there is impermanent, then we cannot say this is my body. Because why? We cannot say this is my body, because it is belong to this nature. It is changing and it is impermanent. If this body is so it's supposed to be not changed, right? It cannot be changed, but it's changing. So it is not belong to my body. It is not under my control, right? It is under control by nature. So how can we say this is my body, it's me, this is I am? So we cannot say that. So it is anatta, anicca, dukkha, anatta. So it is also considerate as logic for Buddhism. I think you got this idea. So last one is Kalama Sutta. Another key rational accept of Buddhism is Kalama Sutta. Buddha explained in Kalama Sutta, do not believe anything simply because you have piety. Do not believe any traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. Do not believe in anything because it is spoken by many. Do not believe in anything because it is found written in your religious book. Do not believe in anything merely on the authorities of your teachers and elders. After observation, Buddha say, after observation, do not believe anything simply. You have to get this idea in Kalama Sutta. This is another key rational aspect of Buddhism. So in Kalama Sutta, do not believe simply anything. After you observation, when you find anything good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. So this is a Buddha said. So if anything is you feel like good for you and others, so then you have to accept it. So I think this is very important thing is a logic. So in Buddhism, we have to come to the last point. In Buddhism, Buddhism does not agree with any the blind beliefs. Buddha does not agree with any the blind beliefs, because some people have lot of the beliefs, right? The blind beliefs, they believe in something like a blindly. It's a no wisdom. Blind beliefs. The blind belief in supernatural process. Some people, they blindly believe in the supernatural process, and some supernatural beings is kind of the blind believing. The blind belief in traditional. Sometimes people too much believe in is their traditional practice. So in Buddhism, so that's why we have to understand why Buddhism is called is a rational religion. So these are the point is very important. And so do not simply believe in, Buddha say, do not simply believe in anything until you investigate yourself, until you observe yourself. It is good for you, it's a benefit for you, it is good for others, benefit for you and all, and then accept it. And live up to it. So this is Buddha's point. So we should not simply believe anything blindly. That's wrong, because we don't know. We have to observe it, we have to investigate it, then we have to understand, and it is good for me or it is good for the society. So then you can accept it. Otherwise, don't simply believe in anything, blindly believe, and the blind belief of supernatural process and blind belief of traditional. So Buddhism don't accept it, don't agree with it. And also the blind belief in the religion books. Some people, they are blindly believing their religion books, and so that's why I saw some lot of problem in this world. These are the things. So Buddhist teaching is encourages for all of us to cultivate wisdom without believing anything, without blindly following anything. If you are following something blindly, believing, maybe your traditional, maybe your religious books and something, if you don't feel like a comfortable, whatever you believe, if you don't feel like a freedom, if you don't feel inner peace, if you don't feel comfortable what you believe in, so there must be something wrong in your belief. So you have to understand. So Buddhist teaching was to encourage us, was to cultivate our own wisdom, our self-understanding, our right understanding, by investigating, by observing, by practicing meditation. So Buddha encourages all of us to, those who follow the Buddhism, cultivate. Buddha encourages us to cultivate our inner wisdom, our compassionate and loving kindness and the morality. So this is the Buddha's teaching. It is not to follow anything blindly without understanding the truth, without understanding, without observing, without investigating. Don't simply believe or follow anything. So this is the thing we have to understand. So observe yourself before accept or believe anything. I think these are the information enough for you to understand the Buddhism is a considerate rational religion. It's a logic. The Buddhism is a logic. Yeah, everything is reason. That's why Buddha, whatever Buddha explained, there must be the reason. There must be the logic. So that's why Buddhism is a rational religion. Also the logic. So thanks for listening today. I hope you get some understanding, knowledge of this Dhamma sharing. And if you feel you got some knowledge, and I'm very happy about that. I'm just sharing with you and for knowledge. And if you are really studying good student, or you can get this point to understand, so for your studies, and I think it is really helpful for you. And so okay, thank you so much for listening, and I wish you happy and healthy life. May Lord Buddha always bless you, and hope to see you again with another video. And if you really like to listen and study about the education, so you can subscribe my channel, and so then you can learn continue and with me. And so hope you enjoying the learning. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. And Namo Buddhaya.